Big 12 baseball coming up this afternoon from Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park in Lubbock. Kansas and Texas Tech set for Game 2 of their Big 12 Conference Series. Hello again, everyone. John Harris here alongside former Red Raider Dr. Mike Gustafson. Red Raiders are nearing the end of a 15-game homestand, and they are good in their ballpark. 11-2 in the 13 games played so far. Gus, comfortable right here. Pitching, defense, and hitting set the stage for them in Game 1, and they win it over Kansas.
Yeah, the 5-run fourth inning really separated things for the Red Raiders. Then you look down here on the pitching side, 3 1/3 scoreless innings of bullpen work by the Red Raiders to finish that game. Just a really good, solid performance all the way around.
Let's go back to Friday night and look at some of the highlights of that game. It was 1-0 Red Raiders when Logan Hughes sends that pitch out over the right field wall, his 5th home run of the season. 2-0 Tech in the first. Brady Ballinger got Kansas on the board, his first home run of the year for the preseason player of the year in the Big 12, made it 2-1, but the Red Raiders answered with 5 in the bottom of that inning. The biggest hit from Robin Villeneuve, his 24th career home run. It was 7-1 after that. Jayhawks would get 2 in the 6th. Augusto Mungarrieta, his run-scoring single, got Ballinger in. But Tech's Lucas Perko starts. He'd get the win. Han, Jordan, and Beavis finished out the game. It was 11-4 Red Raiders who get the win in their Big 12 opener.
Yeah, for Kansas, it's Brady Ballinger getting the home run. He's on the board in that category. A couple of base hits, got off a couple of nice swings yesterday. You saw the Hughes home run, 2 for 2 on the day. Throw in a couple of walks. He was on base. He was also hit by pitch once, on base 5 times on the night. Outstanding work by him. You can throw in Jesse Rusnick, 3 for 4, a home run short of the cycle. Boy, those guys really swinging it well. Of course, Ballinger back in lineup and left field today, as is Hughes.
Big 12 baseball coming up. Kansas and Texas Tech going at it again from Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park right here in Lubbock. 3-game series between the Red Raiders and the Jayhawks about to get started. Gus, but Tim Tadlock's guys today, it's Connor Mohan on the mound.
He making his 5th appearance, 5th start. The ERA at 5.40, the record at 0-1 last week against Penn State. 3 innings of 4-run baseball. He allowed 6 hits and a walk. He did strike out 6.
Sophomore out of Burleson. Here's the Kansas batting order that he will see today, and there are changes for the Jayhawks. Jordan Bachto will lead off. He's been on base in every game this season. For KU, Ballinger, Mungarrieta after that, LeBlanc, Owens, Baldridge, Osoria, Dykoff, and Schlotterbeck. Red Raiders pitching limited Kansas to just 7 hits on Friday night, 4 runs. Bach in that ball game. 1 for 3, did have a single. He struck out a couple of times, but first pitch he saw him Friday, Gus, he ripped that thing right into center field.
He came out pumping, jumped on a first pitch heater from Lucas Perko, lined a base hit into right center. He's a good player. He's been their best player thus far this season. 371, the batting average.
Will play in center field today. More about that when the Jayhawks go onto the field defensively. Mohan starts him inside for a ball behind the plate today. Blake Felix is the home plate umpire. Stephen Corby at first. Lance Barnes at second. Chris Koski at third. Red Raider pitching did a good job with the free passes, limiting Kansas to just 3 walks on Friday night. Struck out 9. Blanc has 2 singles today, 1 in the first, another in the 8th inning. Came a little bit inside. Free kind of looking at his hand after that pitch. This inning started with Schlotterbeck leading off. He singled into center field. Bach rolled one back to the mound, was thrown out at first base. But Schlotterbeck got down to second. He went to third on a passed ball and scored on the fly ball to left off the bat of Brady Ballinger. That was out number 2. Moon Garrietta singled up the middle, and now LeBlanc batting in a tie game. Two and one the count. Swing and a miss there, or actually may have fouled it off his leg.
That took a bite out of him.
LeBlanc hobbled there down the first base line for a moment.
He's
using the bat like a crutch, trying to get back to the batter's box.
You don't see that very often. They got the back knee, John. That's why he's dragging that right leg around.
Appears to be quite tender from here with the way he's reacted, but gonna stay in there. Presumably. Tyson Owens would be next for the Jayhawks if LeBlanc can keep this inning going. Two balls and two strikes. There are two outs, but the Jayhawks have scored to tie the game. Ryan Free from the stretch. Wide of the mark. That's ball 3.
Yeah, the count goes full with two outs here. Villeneuve not going to hold Moon Garrietta at first. Actually, he's going to stay in place here.
He walked away and then turned around and went back to the bag.
And that signal comes from the dugout.
Got him. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. LeBlanc strikes out to end the inning. But the Jayhawks do got a run to tie this ball game as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Can the Red Raiders win this ball game, or are we headed to extra innings? We'll find out. 9 runs apiece here in Lubbock. Gus taking a look at the numbers there. 9-17-0 for the Jayhawks. 9-12-3 for the Red Raiders. But you wonder what happened in that second inning. It's the only inning today where one of these teams hasn't scored. Red Raiders hoping to find a way to score here in the 9th to win this game.
Yeah, a lot of single runs. A couple of 3-run innings.
Red Raiders have scored a run apiece in the 6th, 7th, 8th. Looking for another here. It would win the ball game, and Lincoln Garcia to lead off. Toby Scheidt remains on the mound for Kansas. Garcia's got a couple of singles today. Tried to bunt for a hit back in the 7th and just got beat by the throw at first base. The Red Raiders need a base runner.
Schlotterbeck spent the first 2 strikes of that count, even with the bag over there at third.
Garcia's pushed his hitting streak to 16 games in this game. He's been on base in that many as well.
Scheidt came on in the 7th. Got a ground ball to get out of that inning. Allowed only the solo home run to Tracer Lopez in the 8th. Right-hander Manning West is up tossing in the Jayhawk bullpen. He pitched here yesterday in relief.
2-2 to the Red Raiders. Now third baseman. Oh, that could have hit him, but he got out of the way of that. Garcia began the ball game at shortstop, but moved over to third when Coleman Ryan came into the ball game to play that spot. He took over the Connor Schaus spot at third. Raiders look to get their leadoff batter on. Roller on the right side. Baldridge has it. Oh, he threw wildly at first base, but Dykhoff able to reach up and get that ball. That was almost thrown away. Baldridge playing second for the first time this season. The Red Raiders leadoff batter is retired here in the ninth. Now Caden Ferraro. Did not reach base in his first two at-bats today, but since then a double and a home run. Guy that could end the ball game with one swing. Outfielders are pretty deep. But now Ferraro in an 0-2 hole. He fouled out in the third inning, but Red Raiders had the bases loaded, and Connor Schaus tagged up and raced home with a run. He doubled and scored that double in the fifth, drove in another run, and he had the solo home run in the seventh. Oh, he hits this one hard on just a rope out to right field, over the head of Tyson Owens. Headed to second base is Ferraro. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. But that ball got out there on Owens, Gus, so quickly it got over his head to the wall.
Yeah, that was a missile. It's an 0-2 breaker down and in. Probably got a little more of the strike zone than he wanted. Owens was frozen by it. It's a rocket right at him. He sits down for a second. By the time he realizes that it's over his head, he's unable to play it. Got it in quickly to hold Ferraro to the double. Outfield very deep.
Third extra base hit of the ball game for Ferraro. And now with one out, Matt Quintanar will bat. He hit the 425-foot home run back in the fifth inning. His first of the season, and it got out of here in a hurry.
Well, unless there's a reason for Ferraro to have to freeze on some sort of a hit into the outfield, you would expect.
That ball's ripped into left field. Ballinger coming on. Here comes Ferraro. Here comes the throw. It's offline. Red Raiders are going to win it. Walk-off hit by Matt Quintanar. And Ferraro, who had doubled just a moment ago, races home with the game winner. And the Red Raiders go 2-0 in this Big 12 series against Kansas.
I was just about John, unless there's a reason for the base runner to have to freeze, you would expect J. Bob Thomas and the Red Raiders to be very aggressive on something hit to the outfield. Obviously, that ball sharply hit. Ferraro had a good read on it. He's off with contact, and they're challenging Ballinger's arm out there in left field.
He made the throw, but it was offline at the plate, and the Red Raiders out of the dugout to celebrate. Back-to-back hits here in the bottom of the ninth. The double by Ferraro and the single by Quintanar. What a day for the Red Raider catcher with his first home run, and then the single to walk off the victory in the bottom of the ninth inning with one out. Red Raiders do win it 10-9 over Kansas. 14 hits for the Red Raiders, 3 errors. 9 runs, 17 hits, no errors for Kansas. Now 10-8 on the season, 0-2 in Big 12 play. Red Raiders go to 13-5 and 2-0. And the final game of this 3-game series right here tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and you can see that one on ESPN+. All games are streaming live or archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of Big 12 baseball on ESPN+. For Dr. Mike Gustafson, I'm John Harris, and for all of our Texas Tech crew saying good night from Lubbock, this has been a presentation of ESPN. So long, everybody.